What is up, YouTube? Long time no see, but I'm back. Do you prefer to read non-fiction or fiction books? I've just finished one of my first fiction novels that I've ever read in my entire life. I've read some fiction, but this is my first true novel. It's a Stephen King novel, and I've discovered some interesting things about reading fiction books that pertain to me. So before we get into that, I'm happy to be making videos again. It's been a while. I had my first semester at university. I go to SF State. I had my first semester up there, and hopefully, you know, it's looking like we made all A's today. I mean, all A's this semester. So, kudos to me. Now, before that, I want to get into some things. So, I have had the chance to read a couple things, and I'm just now finishing up my first fiction novel. This is a Stephen King novel. So I chose this novel because, one, I'm kind of into, you know, horror films and different things like that, and I've watched a lot of Stephen King movies. So I was like, hey, why not read a novel? This book is big. You know, it's 1,300 pages of fantasy fiction, right? And then I'm gonna have another book here. Dollars and Cents. So this is Dollars and Cents by Dan Ariely and Jeff Keisler. All right, this book is about finance, and I'm gonna recommend this book to anyone who's into learning about how to better control their money and the psychology behind spending money. This is a practical recommendation that I'm making towards everyone. So I have two books here. This one I've already read. I love this book. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. This one I'm almost to the end of, and there's some contrasting issues that I've had with reading a fiction book. So let's start off with this one. So I'm almost done with this book, and you know, while I do enjoy reading fiction books, I do feel like I'm lacking something, and that is the practical application. So reading in general does sharpen your mind. It does teach you how to think a little bit differently, but I realize that when I read a fiction book, I'm less motivated to finish it. I just pick it up whenever I'm bored. And then two, it has really no practical application to my life. So I'm reading this book called The Stand, and it's about, you know, a day zero plague that kills everyone. I get kind of bored. I'm not able to take the ideas in this book and apply them to my own life, which is something that I like to do with the things that I read. Fast forward, let's go and look at this book, Dollars and Cents. This book, I was able to challenge some of my own ideas directly with this book. Specifically how to spend money. So how we compartmentalize, how we spend more when we use credit cards, the use of credit cards, getting out of debt, and what debt does psychologically to our brain. So this book, I was able to use the information in it a lot more. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm never gonna read another novel again, but at the same time, I got more usefulness, and I've achieved more usefulness out of this book, and more utility out of this book, and also it's given me some tools that I've been able to use further along in my life, especially when it comes to management of money. So I think I'm gonna be back more on my nonfiction hype. When I started reading books, I was more of a nonfiction reader. I wanted to dabble in fiction because it's something I've never really done before. And I'm always a proponent of testing the waters and seeing what you like and what you don't like. This particular book I enjoyed, but at the same time, spending my time reading a 1,300 page fiction book, I think I can do better things with my time. So I'm back on it. I think I'm also reading Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek currently right now. I'm gonna come up with a video about that, so stay tuned. That's a very interesting book, especially from the perception of somebody who is Black and has a different experience here in America. So I'm gonna go back and recommend this book again. It's Dollars and Cents by Dan Ariely. It has a lot of comedy to it. That's why I like it. It's not just a boring book about finance. It has some comedy to it, how he spends and compartmentalizes his money, and the simple things that we trick ourselves into doing when it comes to money. So now that I am on winter break from school, be ready to see some more videos from me, and stay tuned.